I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com.
Welcome
I'm Easy.
you.
Joined by my guy Rex.
Hello.
Welcome back,
Yes, sir.
Chris. Young Chris.
What's up, man? Happy to be back. I missed you guys. You see, I wore the Woodward heavyweight.
Shout out.
Yeah, man. It was a fun week away. I checked in when I could. Like I told you guys earlier, I was punching air in Cancun when I heard you guys talking rap. It was highly offensive, but you know, I'm happy to be back with the boys.
It got out of control. I mean, it was a spicy conversation.
I was like 6 Trulies deep.
Yeah, I think only 2. I'm still feeling good. Chris, you left here as Red the Devil's ass. You came back a little brass, a little more brown.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Long tan and not so handsome.
How was it?
What's that?
How was Mexico?
Oh man, it was honestly the time of my life. It was the time of my life. You know, had a great time with the boys. Was having fun socializing, a lot to do. I've never done the resort thing ever in my life before, so that was cool. But again, like I was telling you guys, 8 days anywhere. Like that 5th day, you're getting like the new group in for like the next weekend.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, you're over it. So you're just looking at them with disgust, like, you scums. Like, it was good though. It was a good time. But, you know, it got redundant and the food was trash. But that's kind of, I've learned typical at a resort.
Food was trash.
Food was terrible. Worst food I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't leave the resort?
No, I thought of like food is trash. He's in Mexico. There's no way.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah,
Oh,
true.
no. Yeah, it's a resort, dude. Like, I was showing you the clip of the Michael Jackson impersonation. Everything was so Americanized. You know what I mean?
The Michael Jackson impersonation, dude, wasn't even doing
Oh,
anything. He was
that was
just
so
walking
funny,
around, bro.
That's
I thought he
hilarious.
was like gonna start dancing or something, but he was just walking.
He was kind of chubby, too.
He did a little bit of a moonwalk. It wasn't bad.
Well, we didn't get to see that part.
Oh.
You said
I
this
sent
one
you
where
a
he's
video.
just walking
He was
around.
just walking.
It's also super random. I didn't see. I didn't expect that to be what you sent.
Which one?
The Michael Jackson one. You sent that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got Nicholas Koloff on the 1s and 2s, aka Detroit Mario.
Let's go, Chris Platty, NBA savant. Welcome back.
Man, I wish I had some good things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's one good thing. Ausar Thompson, the blood clot news. Some positive news on it. I guess he's able to resume or start non-contact like conditioning starting April 14th. Mm-hmm. So like, literally as the season ends, which that shows like a positive sign for things to come. I talked about it over the weekend with a few people, and shout out to Pistons Talk for having me on the podcast briefly. But obviously, we had the situation with Chris Bosh. There's the Brandon Ingram situation too, where obviously he came back and he's playing quite well. So there's positive news for Ausar Thompson. I guess I wanted to get that.
It is good news. You like to hear that. You know, you never want to see somebody's career cut short because of injury or them have to deal with anything serious regarding their health. So it's good to see him ready to go, that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and hopefully he'll be back ready to go next year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that would have sucked, bro. Like his rookie year too, not even be able to get started like that. And like he showed some promise for like what we expect him to be. I'm not expecting to be anything too crazy than like what he's been. I'm not too I guess wishful on that 3-point shot developing into like anything crazier than what it is right now, to be honest with you. But I like the energy he brings offensively when it comes to like clean up the glass, and I like the energy he brings on defense too. And I think that's a piece that fits on any team. I'm a big fit guy, obviously. You got the Kate Cunningham Ivy stuff like that. I think Ausar is a kid that fits on any team, any system, no matter what. Like that passion and energy you really can't replace.
Yeah.
Unless you obviously find another guy who's passionate.
Find a guy who could do that and shoot. And then you're like, whoa!
Whoa! iOS 13. Speaking of basketball, Michigan State, Oakland, they went down. You got a chance to talk to Jack
Golke
today. How was that?
It's a cool guy. It was great. It was a great conversation. You might help me out with my taxes. You know, going through.
I saw that.
Dude, the man came up. He's already got like 4 or 5 NIL deals.
Yeah, man.
Off of a 2-day stretch or a 3-day stretch.
Well, the other part too, I guess I'm wondering, isn't this his last year too?
Yeah.
So he just gets paid out for like the remainder of the year. Good for him, man.
Good for him.
Every time I see him post his one of those little NILs, I make sure to retweet. So
he went from
gets
like
his money's
he
worth.
went from like 1,500 followers on Instagram to 50,000 in like 5 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The dude, he's a cool guy too. We had him on BDE for a couple segments, and it was just he's real down to earth dude, and he loves the game. He loves all sports. It was cool to talk to. He's one of the boys. Like he's definitely one of the boys. So
Yeah.
it's cool to talk to Jack, and obviously he had an amazing run in the tournament. And shout out to Oakland for what they did. MSU, complete embarrassment, disappointment. Gross stuff. Gross stuff.
I have.
MSU hockey though.
Shout out. Congratulations, MSU
Big
Hockey.
Ten champs. First time in school history, they won the Big Ten tournament. They are one of the top seeds in the Frozen Four playoffs. There are 4 Michigan teams in the Frozen Four playoffs.
Yeah.
It's Michigan, Michigan State, Western,
State.
and Michigan Tech.
Michigan Tech?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's awesome to see. They're all on the same side of the bracket, but it's awesome. You know, it was a great win. Patrick Geary got the overtime winner from the blue line. Just absolute snipe. It was a great game to watch. It was a lot of fun. So shout out to the boys for bringing it home. You know, shout out to Munn for having that place rocking for the guys. They deserve it. Big Ten regular season champs, Big Ten tournament champs, and hopefully national champs pretty soon. But I'm excited for that.
We're not letting you escape this Tom Izzo conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't sliding off.
No, I
you
didn't.
know.
I said it on BD. I'm not like Tom Izzo needs to take a deep fucking look at what he's doing on the coaching staff. He needs to realize this shit doesn't fly anymore. I said it on BDE. He needs to get out of his ways. Like you can go back and pull the tape for me on Big D Energy earlier today. He needs to get out of his ways. He needs to realize the game has passed him by. If you stay entrenched in your ways, you'll end up like Mark D'Antonio.
What are the ways you speak of?
You need to play your 5-star freshman, and you need to attack the transfer portal. You look at when Xavier Booker got minutes on this team in the playoffs or in the tournament, he was one of the best bigs we had, arguably the best big we had. He can stretch the floor, he's athletic, and he can make things happen. So there's no reason Matty Sissoko should have been playing over him for 95% of the season. And you look at who has been the best player on this team for the past 2 years, it's Tyson Walker. Where did you get Tyson Walker? In the transfer portal. Maybe you should do more of that, Tom. Maybe you should go out and get a couple guys that know how to play hoops. Like, I'm not going to get too mad at it unless he changes, or unless he doesn't change. Then it's over.
I don't know if
But you need to change. This shit doesn't work anymore. The whole Izzo style, the Izzo way, that's not how you win in college basketball anymore. You need to play your talented freshmen, and you need to attack the transfer portal. That's what you need to do. And if you don't do it, you're not going to get past the first round or the first weekend of the tournament. Like, getting past the first weekend of the tournament once in 4 years, 5 years is unacceptable. It is pitiful, and it is not Michigan State. This was the weakest team I've seen out of a Michigan State basketball team in a long time. They didn't play hard. They didn't play tough. They got bodied by everybody. They were mentally weak, and I feel bad for Tyson Walker because his amazing play and his talent was wasted at Michigan State because the rest of the team around him was unserious and didn't want to go out there and actually play.
There's no dog in
It's
him.
embarrassing.
Like every time they kept getting blocked at the rim, I was like on like fast breaks where it felt like the blocks on those breaks like made no sense to me. It was extremely weird, extremely uncomfortable. A lot of stupid shot selections. And again, I mean, the end of it, yeah, no heart. And North Carolina's good too. Like, don't get me wrong, but just
They're a very good team.
I think they go all the way. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm pretty sure they've been together the longest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are getting hyped up on UConn, but I still like NC.
Yeah,
Nick, I know
UNC
you
is a
want
very
to speak
good
on that
team.
one too.
Baycott's a beast inside. I mean, you play college basketball for that long and you're highly skilled, like you're gonna be good, obviously.
Yeah.
And having that in the middle of this like NIL era of college basketball, I mean, the dude's a walking like 20 and 15 every time he takes the floor. So I just think the thing for Michigan State, I mean, you were up 10 in that game, like with control, and you just let it slip. Like, it's unacceptable if you're Tom Izzo to do that in my eyes. I mean, I hope they can bounce back in the future and, you know, regain some shine. But like Spenny said, he is going to have to change his ways because right now it doesn't look promising going forward.
Yeah, and obviously, beating Mississippi State was good, and it was fun, and you celebrate that win. But this season was a complete and utter failure. Everything about this season was a failure. It was embarrassing, and it was a complete disappointment. It's not the Michigan State way to be like, oh, we made the tournament. Yeah, that's a good season. No, this was a bad season. This was a failure of a season. You're preseason number 1. You had one of the best returning starting fives in college basketball, and you choked hard. So you got to get over that. And Tom Izzo saying after the game, he said, I'm going to get into a deeper run in this tournament or I'm going to die trying. And I love to hear that. I do, because I love Tom Izzo. And I loved Mark D'Antonio. But if you don't change your ways and adapt to how college basketball is played and how basketball teams in college work, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to be different. It's going to be the exact same thing as Mark D'Antonio, who is the best football coach in college history, in Michigan State history. And what did he do? He got stuck in his ways. He didn't want to get rid of his friends and his guys and just switched them around in the coaching staff. He stuck with I'll just use 2 stars and 3 stars and turn them into something. And college football overpassed him. And at the end of it, they were a laughingstock.
I think losing Narduzzi was a huge part of that too. But with the Tom Izzo stuff, I'm not so sure that he will change his ways, because college basketball has been this for, I'd say, the better part of the past decade. But then there's other conversation you have where Kentucky has 2 first-round exits, and they're literally like the polar opposite of what we're asking Tom Izzo to do. It's like,
because
what is the answer?
Well, Tom Izzo is a much better coach than John Calipari.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
John Calipari is more of a salesman.
X's and O's wise, basketball mind wise, Tom Izzo is a much better coach than John Calipari. But yeah, you can't do that. If you would have gotten a center in the transfer portal, a legitimate center in the transfer portal, you would have beat UNC. If you would have gotten a legitimate center in the transfer portal, and if you would have played Cohen Carr and Xavier Booker more than 5 minutes a game, you wouldn't have only won 19 games on the season. Like, it's embarrassing what they keep doing, and they need to change it. And Tom Izzo says he wants to get back into getting deeper runs into this tournament. Well, that's how you do it. That's how you're going to do it in today's modern age. You're not going to do that by not attack. If you don't attack the transfer portal viciously this year and bring in 2 starters, you might not make the tournament next year.
I mean, that's the other part of it too. Is like, if you're a younger player, do you even want to go to Michigan State knowing that's like what the deal is? You're not really going to see the floor unless you're a senior, sophomore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're rarely going to get PT over these other guys, even though you are a better, I guess, more skilled player. Mm-hmm. Like, what are the odds people you want to? I get it's Michigan State, but still, knowing that's how they run the program.
Yeah.
Why would you go and sacrifice like your minute, your shine, especially if you're trying to just make it the ultimate goal for everybody? Obviously, is the next level, right?
Yeah, it's especially when they see that this is a team that had the best recruiting class in the Big Ten this year. They had a top 5 recruiting class in the nation this year, and those guys don't get minutes. Like, why would 5 stars want to come here? Why would that happen? Why would you do that? You could sell it on Tom Izzo. You could sell it on the legacy, but that legacy's dying. And, like, I love Tom Izzo, but he needs to change the way he attacks the transfer portal and attacks playing freshmen if he wants to get back to what they were.
It's totally different in terms of, like, accolades, but, like, Bill Belichick, greatest football coach of all time. But today's day and age, the game's kind of passing by. Mm-hmm. I think Tom Izzo could still be recognized as a great coach from when he came up. But again, things are changing now. Chris, I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, quickly, the Calipari versus Izzo thing. Calipari sells himself on getting players ready for the NBA, not necessarily being the best coach in the tournament, winning in the tournament. Mm-hmm. Izzo has always been, hey, whoever you give me, we will go far because of me. That's why I'm with Spencer. The accountability falls on him. You can point at certain players coming up short and underperforming, but at the end of the day, college especially is run by the coaches. It's not like the professional sports where the players are the stars, the coaches are the stars, and this was a disappointing season. And now, like you said, Tom Izzo has to reflect, has to adapt. Greg Popovich is another great coach I'm looking at the professional level. You brought up Belichick. For me, it's Popovich in the NBA. Like, he refuses to get Wembanyama a point guard. Like there's just certain things that he's stuck on that are weighing him down and weighing his team down. And I think Izzo's falling victim to that, because when you have so much success, it's hard to deviate. But you look at all the greatest coaches, they adapt. And Izzo, we need to see more adaptation from him in the next few years.
Yeah, and just real quick before because we kind of over, Nick, we'll definitely carry on the conversation when we get back. Congratulations, David Baxter, getting divorced. If you're happy, brother, we're happy, brother. Keep your head up, team. Congratulations. Let's go to break and see the conversation when we get back. But Spinny, can you tell us about Planet Fitness first?
Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you're at, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables, new design, amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. By clicking the shop tab today, you can get hoodies, hats, tees, all guaranteed to turn heads. Head on over to woodwardsports.com and click the shop tab today.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit the like button upon Chris's safe return from Mexico. Congratulations, Chris.
Congrats, Chris.
It's a good time.
I'm Easy, Eskimo Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. Nick, you want to say something before we went to break there?
Yeah, real quick, we talk about something that happened that was disappointing with State and Oakland going down. Something disappointing this whole entire season was the worst season in Michigan basketball history. Juwan Howard got fired. But something on the positive note, we just signed our head coach, Dusty May, former coach at FAU that went to a Final Four last season. I never heard of FAU before this guy, so he can obviously build a program, and I'm excited about the potential of this hire for Dusty May being the head coach of Michigan basketball. Do you guys have any quick reactions to that?
That's a good hire.
Yeah, that's a really good hire.
Yeah.
Kind of nervous, not gonna lie. And like you said, what the fuck was FAU
You're a
beforehand?
Michigan fan.
Yeah.
Not a Michigan fan, but I do like this hire for Michigan fans. Like you said, we didn't know anything about FAU beforehand. If I'm not mistaken, he mentored under Bobby Knight. He wanted to be the Indiana coach. A lot of Indiana fans wanted him to be the Indiana coach, but they ended up going with, I think it was Mike Woodson at that point. And obviously, they got to see what he did at FAU and now Michigan. And yeah, man, I expect him to build a pretty good fucking program. He had like a 64% win percentage at FAU. Again, what the fuck is FAU?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he ever had a losing season over there either. So that's commendable. Final Four out of FAU too. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a very good coach. It was a good signing for Michigan for sure. He's got a lot of work to do to get them out of the gutter and to bring in some talent, but I think he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, talk about hitting the portal. That's something he's for sure going to need to do off rip, and then obviously bring in his own guys, run his system. We'll see how it goes, but Michigan landed him over Louisville. They were also going after Dusty May, so
yeah,
that's big for Michigan. Louisville's another big name in college basketball, so good for them. Hopefully they give them the resources to actually be successful in this role of college basketball nowadays, because they give a lot to the basketball program. I don't know if the football program, I don't know if they're giving it out to the basketball program to really spend on NIL like you kind of need to do in today's day and age.
That's the dope thing about this hire, and I'd say the same too with the Michigan State football coaches. Like, you have guys coming from smaller programs with less resources, already proven themselves like to win games. You know what I'm saying? So I think both those guys end up working out. Congratulations to Michigan on getting Dusty May. Was there one more comment on the Michigan State stuff you were gonna say?
Yeah, just to close out the state, I know one of their biggest recruits was a guy in Jeremy Fears, right? I know he went through some medical
He got shot.
issues. Yeah, he actually did get shot.
Yeah, he
Thank
got
God he's
shot.
okay. So are we expecting him to be back next year,
Yeah.
Spenmo?
Oh, yeah. He'll be back. He'll be good. He'll be ready to go. He'll be the point guard next year. He's a 5-star guy. He's a 5-star recruit. So he's going to be your point guard next year. Hopefully, Jaden Akins comes back. Trey Hallman's going to be another guard that comes back and has a big role in this team next year. But you're going to need to hit the transfer portal to get some wings. Like, I talk about Trey Townsend all the time, who I really think that should be one of the biggest people they attack in the transfer portal is to get Trey Townsend in East Lansing. So
He, by the way, went off.
he's a monster, dude.
He was only when we started shooting those threes. It's like okay,
Yeah.
And then they said he only made like 3 in the season, but he had like 2 back-to-back in that game, or at least not that far apart. It's just, bro, that fucking guy, DJ Burst. Bro.
Yeah.
I texted the group chat. It's like Spinny going to a middle school practice and just fucking
Just
existing.
pushing people around.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
Yeah, he's a very big dude.
I want to ask this because this is coming from the chat, and I promise you guys we're going to talk some football. Obviously, the owner meetings down in Florida. Some wild news come out about Cam Sutton we'll get to, but real quick, a couple comments on Woodward Sports Chat on the Izzo note. Silky Johnson said that Izzo can't develop talent. That's why MSU is spiraling.
That's not true. That's what Izzo does is develop talent.
Yeah.
Look at all of Tom Izzo's best players. They're players that were very low-star recruits and developed into superstars in NCAA. Like
Draymond.
that's Draymond, Cassius Winston, Denzel Valentine. Like,
I think he's talking about into the NBA. I'm thinking at least.
I don't give a shit what they do in the NBA. Like, personally, I don't give a shit about their NBA careers. I care about what they're doing for Michigan State. And what Tom Izzo has done in his entire career is develop talent. He hasn't been able to play. He hasn't been able to use good talent that's already there. That's the knock against Tom Izzo. It's not that he can't develop players. That's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
He can't. If you give him 5 stars, that's when it starts to fall apart a little bit. When he has guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges that are already have all the talent in the world, he kind of fumbles on how to use them. He's always been able to develop players into great talents.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even going into the NBA, though, I think he's got a couple guys in there. Obviously not like MVPs or anything like that, but Miles Bridges, Jared Jackson, like, I'd say those are pretty good players. Obviously, Draymond Green, too.
Tillman.
Yeah, Xavier Tillman's
Shannon
had a good
Brown.
career. Gary Harris had a good run.
Yeah. Zach Randolph.
Jason
but
Richardson back in the day.
Yeah,
Did he
Jason
transfer
Richardson.
out before, or he went straight to the league?
Zach Randolph?
Yeah.
No, he played for Michigan State.
Did he go somewhere else afterward?
No.
He's straight to the league after MSU. Yeah, but I'm wondering if he's making that point as terms of like getting recruits of guys that obviously want to go to the next level, looking at Izzo's track record. But I think there is
Silky
a
Johnson
track
says,
record.
so he's a good coach except when he has good players. Yeah. Do you not know who Tom Izzo is?
That's
do you not
honestly how he
watch
is.
how it works, how the Izzo teams work? They're always better when they're this underdog team that doesn't have big players. Because when he has the 5-star guys, he puts Ben Carter in instead of Jaren Jackson Jr. in situations where you need someone to win for you.
What the fuck?
And that's what it was. There is no question of Izzo developing talent. He's been one of the best coaches in the country over a 25-year span at developing players in the college ranks.
My only beef, and I think you kind of you relayed this too a little bit. He doesn't let his stars be stars at times.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
When he has
Walker's
stars, when he's got Jaren Jackson Jr. and you need him in the tournament, you got Ben Carter in there playing the last 5 minutes of the games instead of Jaren Jackson Jr., where that's malfeasance. You can't do that.
I'll never forget that Syracuse game too, where it's like, bro, Miles Bridges,
Yeah.
like just fucking let him go out there and be the better athlete than he on the floor. Like there was no excuse for him not to do that, especially in that close of a game too.
You didn't know. Yeah, that was
extremely
not
frustrating.
a great Izzo team, as he didn't coach them well enough. When you have guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges, they should be in the game instead of Kenny Goins and Ben Carter.
You think the next MSU guys in house, or you got to go out?
Oh, I already know who the next coach is after
Who?
Tom Izzo. Is Drew Valentine. He's going to be the next head coach for Michigan State. Whenever Izzo decides to retire.
Denzel's brother.
Yeah. It's going to be Drew Valentine.
I like that.
He's been the head coach of Loyola for years now, and he had countless job offers and turned them all down to stay at Loyola because he's just waiting for Tom Izzo to retire. And he's going to be the next head coach of Michigan State.
No, Silky, we're agreeing with you, by the way. He says, the logic doesn't make sense. I like Izzo, but it doesn't mean you can't admit he's been disappointing since 2015. He has.
Nobody's saying he has. Like, I don't understand where you're coming at me, Silky. Yes, he's been disappointing for a long time now. That is obvious. And yes, he can develop young players into great players. Like, I don't know if you don't watch Tom Izzo or Michigan State basketball, but yeah, everybody knows they've been disappointing for a long time now. They've only had one national championship since 2000. That's a disappointment. When you look at what he's done to develop players and talent, though, when you said he can't develop players, that's just objectively false.
We got a little bit of somewhat breaking news, at least a big update in the Cam Sutton stuff. I got a video on it, actually, from Rod Wood himself. Do you want me to get that to you, Chris, and maybe you guys want to go break a little bit early, or would that be easier for you?
Yeah.
Whenever you get it.
Where's that? Or send it to him now. I'll talk about what Dan Miller said about it.
Yeah,
I
I kind of want to do it all together so maybe we could clip it up.
Okay, yeah.
Is that cool?
No, that's fine.
You guys want to break early then, or?
That's
Yeah,
why
we
I
can
read
do
this
that.
one.
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
We learned about the warrant the same time everybody else did on social media. And we were able to speak to Cam because he was actually in our building. And we found him. He was down with our strength staff. He kind of showed up unexpectedly to work out. We were able to talk to him in person, not me, but others members of the staff. And he left the building, and we released him the next day, and no one has spoken to him since.
You indicated that you urged him to seek counsel and to turn himself in. Did you get an indication of whether or not he was going to do that?
Since I didn't talk to him firsthand, I don't know what he told the others, but that's what we advised him to do, and what he's done is kind of up to him at this point.
There you have it, a little bit of an update on the Cam Sutton situation. I know that some people had speculated he may have been dead. I'll just go out there and say it. It was something I was uncomfortable saying. But, yeah, we kind of figured in the modern day and era where, like, your phone tracks you, your car tracks you, cameras on both those devices, we thought you'd be able to find somebody. Mm-hmm. But it just turns out, no. He was literally in the building when the Detroit Lions find out about that warrant. Had a conversation with, I don't know who it was. Obviously, it was a Rod Wood. But they advised him to turn himself in, and the following day, released him. And there's your update on Cam Sutton, really. I mean, I guess good to know he's alive, but definitely still kind of weird he's evading everything.
Yeah, it's very strange. This is a very strange situation to be, unfolding in front of our eyes. That what did he think was going to happen? Like, you were just avoiding a warrant and not talking to the cops when you're in the midst of having them come after you, and you're just going to show up to work like nothing was wrong, like no big deal, just be chilling in Allen Park. Like, I don't understand his thought process. Obviously, he is not in the best mental state.
Yeah.
But we hope he turns himself in and everything is resolved in the situation and he gets the help he needs. But I don't understand the thought process behind just, I'll just show up to work even though I haven't responded to the cops in 2 weeks and there's a warrant out for my arrest in Florida, I'll just go back to Michigan. Everything will be fine. Like, they don't do background checks on that stuff. I don't get it. It's at least we know he's physically okay.
Yes.
That is the biggest thing. At least we know he's physically okay. Mentally, he's going to need some help. He needs somebody to talk to him. Like, this is what I look like. Who's in your corner, brother? Like, you need some better people in your corner to tell you, hey, this is not how you go about doing this.
I mean, I've had some friends go through episodes, man. Shout out to my guy Kyle, but we had gone down to New Orleans to work. We were doing the free phones. I told you guys the story beforehand. And he was given like the Hawaii branch. And like, we were super excited for him. Like, dude, you get to go live in Hawaii for a month and do what we're doing here right now. And he disappeared. Like, we were leaving for Michigan. There was like 2 days beforehand. We didn't know where he was. We could have, like, sometimes you have those mental episodes. I mean, it's truly like, they just lose themselves, all grips on reality, obviously. And this guy showed up to work like nothing happened. He was in the strength and conditioning room. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, man, I hope he does get the help he needs, and that's very, very unfortunate because from the outside looking in, it felt like a guy that was a leader on this team. I guess in terms like he was like one of the older gentlemen in the locker room, one of the guys who been through playoff experience with the Pittsburgh Steelers and whatnot, and that's also a storied franchise in itself. Obviously, Mike Tomlin, before that came out from Rod Wood, Mike Tomlin said that he called out and reached out to him. Wouldn't give any details on that. It was a little bit of a, I think it was none of your business. Classic Mike Tomlin response there, but he's alive. I just don't know if he's well.
Yeah, he's definitely not well. I can say that. If he just thought he was going to show up to work like nothing happened, there's something going on there, and I don't know where he's at now. I don't know if the Lions know where he's at now.
No, I don't think.
But that's a situation that needs to be taken care of. Like, come on, man. What's going on here? You got to go do what's right. If you're innocent, if you didn't do anything wrong, then go plead your case.
Yeah.
Go show them why. This is not helping you at all.
Not at all. It makes everything look worse.
Yeah.
Everything looks worse at that point. I mean, we all kind of assumed that he did it just because, like, why do you run away from the cops at that point? Like, why not just go face it head on? I mean, Von Miller had a similar situation last year, if you guys remember. Mm-hmm. But he had turned himself in and got it taken care of. Actually ended up playing, like, I believe later on that season, if I'm not mistaken, last year. I could double check on that one. But I know that he came back and returned to the team at the very least. And to, I guess, satisfying Detroit Lions fans worried about the cornerback position, they are looking. Reported they met and took out to dinner Maurice Norris Jr. I almost said Morris Norris. Either way, it looks on the sheet. Maurice Norris Jr., defensive back. I believe I had my sheet here. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. He went to. This is my basketball notes. Hold on. Fresno State.
Okay.
He actually was trying to play basketball elsewhere, walked on somewhere else, and then went to like a training camp for Fresno State, walked on a team. That's a Dan Campbell guy for you right there. Mm-hmm. 2 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, 3.5 sacks, and just 13 games this past season for him. And they also met with, now this name's actually kind of crazy, Nehemiah? You want to try that one out?
No.
Nehemia. Nehemiah Pritchett. Another 6'1", 190 guy. I don't remember where he went, actually. I don't know if I wrote that one down. No, he went to Auburn. I watched the tape on that guy. I liked him.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of the takeaway I got, and I was at work when I was watching this tape, but he gets in the receiver's catch window. It's kind of aggressive at that point of attack. And I was watching highlights and then watching any like actual real game tape to give you a takeaway on a full breakdown of him. But I guess in correspondence to like the Cam Sutton news, they're very much active in meeting with cornerbacks, and it feels like they're going to draft a cornerback at some point in this draft.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to attack that position because it was a position I need going into this draft before you even got before the Cam Sutton situation arose. And you got 2 of them. You got Carlton Davis, obviously, and you got Amik Robertson, who are going to be your starters going into next year. But you still need depth pieces. Those aren't guys that are, well, Carlton Davis, you don't know. He's been injured a lot. I'll just say that as it is. He's dealt with injury concerns throughout his entire career. So you'd like to have some pieces in the back end that you feel comfortable with stepping up in case of an injury.
Nehemiah, this is Aaron Stoner. Maybe I'm looking an idiot saying that. Speaking of Meek, AP at the owners' meeting spoke about him too. And said the Detroit Lions got a competitor got a dog. He said he didn't want to be disrespectful about it, but he's got the little man's complex.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's how he plays, watching it. I think I concur, like, from the tape I watched. We obviously had Coach DC from All 22 Films said the same exact thing. I think it just kind of reaffirms the points that we've made. And anybody that I guess wants to know what to expect out of Amik Robinson, who may be concerned about him playing that CB2 spot, but I'm really not. I mean, would I like some depth there? Yes, I would love some depth at every position. Detroit Lions are gathering depth at the position as we speak, whether it's going to be in free agency and or draft. But I think it's a guy that he's kind of yet to blossom. You know what I'm saying? Just because the time he's gotten there was from Marcus Peters getting cut. And by the way, the play that Marcus Peters had the pick six is because Amik was shutting shit down on the other side of the field, and Jimmy G tried to force a throw. You guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with Amik Robinson. I'm fairly confident of it. And as you said, you put this beautifully last week. You have like your yin and yang, where you got your big body guy in Carlton Davis. You want to put on the big receivers on the NFC North. Yeah. Then you got your speedster guy in Amik Robinson. That was a fucking perfect way to put it. That's exactly what we have right here. Yeah. And they're still cooking up. And by the way, Brian Brandt's going to have year 2 as well.
Yeah, you got pieces. And, like, obviously, Nehemiah Pritchett and Maurice Norris Jr., these guys aren't the superstars, lockdown all-star corners you're bringing in. Like, Xmas Jackson Flaxen Waxen. Like, you're bringing in these guys. These guys are depth pieces. If you sign one of these guys, you hope they'd never have to see the field. So, but you do need that depth. That is definitely a position to need is some cornerback depth. So I expect them to sign somebody before the draft to fill that role.
And again, I know you're saying these guys aren't all-stars, and I'm not telling you they're all-stars either, but I'm not counting them out being that they're Brad Holmes prospects. But they're probably going to be pretty fucking good. And just a little bit that I watched, just highlights too, not any tape. Silky Johnson said he's been talking about Pritchett since before free agency. Just so the highlights I put on the Auburn tape, and it's against Alabama too. It's not like a scrub of a school. Yeah. If he fucking fits the mold, I got to be honest with you. Just from what I've seen, he's a physical guy. Likes to get in the catch window of these other wide receivers. And just the story of Morris Norris going from freaking, local college or Macomb Community College or freaking Fresno State and showing out. And the Detroit Lions weren't the only guy pursuing him, too. They're just the ones to take him out to dinner and want to get to know him more.
Yeah, baby, let me take you out to dinner.
Take you out to dinner, baby.
You think they do sign a free agent, though, before they go into the draft?
So I saw, someone put it in my fantasy group chat that Woodward posted something about Xavier Howard, say he'd willing to come here, but it's going to be cold or something like that.
He didn't say...
It says cold up here.
Yeah, somebody said something about Detroit, and he was like, "Yeah, it's cold up there, but I can make it work."
I need some video evidence of that.
And he said
that was in a podcast.
He said he would take less money to play for a contender.
Oui. Detroit is contending. I'll take it.
I would like more of a veteran type piece, honestly, for this team. I think it was Jamie in the chat said sign Gilmore and draft. That is what I'm down for. I don't want to go into round 1 without signing a veteran that's proven in this league going into next season. I think with the news of Cam Sutton, obviously thoughts and prayers to the victim, first of all. Hopefully she's okay with everything going on. And then hopefully Cam Sutton gets the help that he needs moving forward. Because it seems like he's in a really dark place right now. And hopefully everything just, hopefully we get a good comeback story like we were expecting on the field this year for Cam Sutton. But obviously that's not going to be taking place anymore. I would like to go with the veteran route. I don't know how you guys feel about that before the draft, but that is personally, I think, would be the best move so we don't have to take a corner, maybe first round or second round, and we can still go BPA here for Brad.
Yeah, I think you do the mixture of both, and I think that you have that available to you all day. I'm not sure if Brad does it only because we do have the Amik Robinson who could jump into 2 for you right away. But I'm with you. Like give me the combination of the two. If a guy like Xavier Howard is gone publicly and said I'm willing to take less and he's willing to come to Detroit specifically, grab him as your veteran piece and have him compete in camp. I mean, that's what you guys like to do, right? Mm-hmm. They love competition. Bring the 3 of them: Amik, Xavier, and the rookie. Yeah. And the one thing I want to point out about the rookie, we know Brad does BPA. It feels like the research he's doing on these cornerbacks, they feel like guys are going to be further in the draft versus the guys like higher up in the draft. I'm kind of cooling down my Kool-Aid for Kool-Aid. Yeah. Literally, just because it feels like he might go a little bit sooner than we expected. And the guys that Brad's meeting with are guys that aren't day 1 guys. They're all like day 2 dudes,
Yeah, these are guys that he would have obviously taken the time to speak with them if he knew the Cam Sutton situation before the draft, but he didn't. So he met up with them after, but they're not, like you said, they're not day one. These are round 3+ guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I see going down that way. Aaron Stoner, Xavier, that's still too much for Jeff. Dude's a bum. He'll be in CFL in 2 years. What is he talking about? Xavier, that's still too much for Jeff?
Okuda, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know, yeah. Not too familiar, or I don't know what he's trying to say. But no, I think you bring in Xavier Howard, at least somebody who's had the experience.
I think you signed somebody before the draft. Because, yeah, obviously Nehemiah Pickett, Marcus Lawrence, Norris Chestnut, like that'd be like those are nice pieces that you hear later in the draft, but I'd rather have a veteran to either battle with Amik for that CB2 position or be that guy that in case someone goes down, you have confidence that, okay, he's played in the NFL before. He knows what he's doing. You put him out there rather than a rookie that you're going to get in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah. I mean, and another piece of it, too, to be honest with you, we talked about it when we were arguing about L'Jarius Sneed 2 weeks ago or a week ago, however long it was, but, like, beyond depth, I think you also just want multiple guys that can play the position because I feel like that's how teams are attacking you on offense nowadays. Like, there's multiple, like, wide receiver ones or guys that, like, of that caliber, and I just think you got to be ready for it. I mean, especially in our division. Look at the Chicago Bears beefing themselves up, and we have to see what they do in the draft. They can still at number 9 grab Rome Odunze or whoever ends up falling there. I mean, we've been talking about Brian Thomas Jr. and gassing ourselves up about that possibility. They could make that happen, and to have 3 people like that. So, give me beyond depth, just give me 3 guys that can go out there and expect to play ball. And I thought about it today randomly. I didn't want to get it out. Like, I forget which rookie I was talking about, or someone was interviewing a guy who, rookie year last year. And it's the same question. Like, what's the biggest adjustment to the game? Speed of the game. Like, look how sorry for swearing, but look how dope Brian Branch was year 1.
Yeah.
And now he's going to have that adjustment to the speed. He was already like he had a knack for getting to the ball or having a nose, where it's at and making a play on it. Year 2 of that, it's going to be even better. So sign me up, man. And at Detroit Lions, grab as many corners as you want. I ain't tripping on it at all.
I agree.
We get back. I do want to talk about one corner. A lot of people thought we were getting. Ended up getting traded finally to Jerry Sneed. And I saw the TL going crazy. People were freaking out about that one. But first, I got to tell you guys about Swiss Insurance. There's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the state of Michigan. Good news is my guy Mark is here to help you out. Email him directly. That's mark@swissins.com. Or visit the website. Familiarize yourself with the product at swissins.com. Again, that's Swiss Insurance Group, mark@swissins.com. Or just visit ins.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Their food is amazing. Their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York-style pizza, fresh sides, and salads. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy.
What up, and welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. If you guys haven't already, please make sure to hit the like button. It means the world to us. We are on during drive time, so if you hit that like button, helps people find us afterwards. I'm Easy. That's been Morax.
Hi.
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, a.k.a. Unky Nick, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. A couple other news from the meeting since President Rod Wood talked. I know I teased the luxurious need stuff too. But I see you guys commented already in the chat about the new uniforms. Here's what he had to say according to Colton Pouncey about the new uniforms. He says they're honoring our traditional color with a little updating and twist. We're going to introduce a couple different pant options that can go with the jerseys, so it will give us different options to wear during the season. This sounds like they're gonna wear these full time, the new ones.
Yeah, it's gonna be completely new uniforms.
Oh, I thought it was like
not like a new alternate. Like
that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a new alternate. No, they're just doing full time upgrades. Well, I've seen the mock-ups. I'll send some to Chris, I guess, if I can find them. The traditional colors. I think I don't like that, bro.
What is it?
I was hoping this is more of like a one-off, and I'm a little stitches. I'll admit it. I'll self-report on that one. But like, bro, the monochromatics, we were fire. They looked good and they played good in them.
The blueberries.
I'm sorry to be that guy. Yeah, the blueberries are gas, and they played phenomenal in them.
They're undefeated in the all whites, I think.
I'm gonna be the guy who's bitching about nothing right now, but yeah, I'm kind of upset about it. Not gonna lie.
Aaron B says no trash company logos, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
no on that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Bro, look what happened on Thanksgiving, man.
No, I'm not concerned.
They went the traditional route and they got their asses whooped. Why go traditional? This is the new Lions, I thought.
That does not matter to me.
It fucking matters to me.
I'm not going to say the way the uniforms they wear affects how they play on the field.
It felt like it last year. When the monochromatics, they played damn good. Outside of that, not so much. Specifically, going back to that traditional trend on Thanksgiving.
I think there were more factors than just the jerseys they were wearing in that game. But yeah, I'm not saying. It's over now. Burn it down. They're getting new uniforms. Season's over. They're not going to do anything.
I'm just saying, don't. And I guess that's
Easy hates new uniform.
I mean, yeah, I do. I want the monochromatics. I want them to stay that way. I thought the uniform changes would be like a color rush thing. That's why I was like, oh, sweet. And I honestly was under the perception that they're bringing the black back. Just because I just felt like that team kind of fit that attitude. You still do like the monochromatic fit with that one too. The helmets that they had last year, the new helmets I'm talking about with the traditional logo, was so fucking sexy with all black. Also with all blue, or just did whatever different from the grays. I think would have worked either way. But yeah, dog, no, not a fan. Not a fan. There aren't pictures. By the way, these will be revealed before the draft as well too. But yeah, dog, I don't know. Hey, Apollo's with me, but Apollo's also trope. He says, I believe in color theory. Yeah. Hey, what does Dion always say? Look good, play good.
Yeah, look good, feel good, play good, for sure. I mean, I'm just not putting all that stock into it.
I would have liked to see the black ones personally.
Yeah, me too, man.
Or like maybe like kind of like a throwback where like the ones that Barry used to rock, you know, those I kind of would have liked that personally, but I liked what we wore last year, so I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it, just like the Red Wings. Why throw the patch on during a 6-game winning streak? What are we doing here?
Yeah. And I know it's not Team Mantra. It's, shout out to our guy Foxy. It's his saying that he came up with the brand new Lions. Like, let's be that. Let's not revert to this traditional shit.
They're doing brand new jerseys for the brand new Lions.
Honoring our traditional color with a little update and twist.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're going back to traditional, which looks sweet.
Sounds like they're going to be new.
Don't get me wrong. But, whatever. It is what it is. We'll have to rock with it. I want to see the All Blacks. I was watching the gameplay, DJ Reader, Meek Robinson, and Carlton Davis. I was like, damn.
Yeah, the Blacks would have been sweet.
This shit would have been hard and black because like that's the style they play.
You're kind of contradicting yourself.
What do you mean?
Because the black jerseys represent the Millen era.
But that was a one-off, though. It wasn't like they wore them like routinely.
But that's what they were. That's
and again,
where they're from.
Still, you could stick with the monochromatic with that one. Black on black. I ain't never seen a ride road. I was wax on rack. After the fact, I never really drive sober. Cold word and I'm hot as shit. Did I mean that I'm bipolar? Sorry.
Young, black, and gifted. I rap like it's Christmas Eve.
Coach
wouldn't let off the bench, so no wonder why I quit the team.
Anyway.
Seeing Brian Branch come through on a blitz and the black on blacks, boom, just tearing up a cornerback would have been great.
What did they say in The Sopranos?
Yeah, you would never have lost the
What were you saying, Nick? I apologize.
No, just seeing Brian Branch come through on a blitz, just this gap open up, black on black jersey.
I'm salty. Says Davis is not CB1. Then who is? Amik Robertson?
Yeah.
On this roster right now, yes, he is.
Alden Davis, CB1, bro. I don't know.
Love you, Salty, but
love you, Salty. Yeah,
he is. But yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about. Oh no, it was just the all blues or the all whites. They'll never perform like that again. If you're lacking that much faith in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell that you think a change of jersey is going to turn them into turds, I don't know who you are.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell were there when they wore that fucking traditional shit last year on Thanksgiving.
Actually, they weren't. They were both sick.
They were both sick. They called
off. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, it is what it is.
Fed's got Diddy. Diddy got feted?
I don't know.
Damn. Shouldn't have been.
That's a question mark.
Poor Meek.
Yeah, shouldn't have been doing that.
Aaron B. Get larger numbers. The traditionals are fine. The old Barry joint. Yeah, I think they look fine.
That's another thing. Like, what if they're going back to when the Detroit Lions were making the playoffs with Barry Sanders? Or what if they're going back to when the Detroit Lions were winning not Super Bowls, championships? Wouldn't those be good eras to tap into?
Yeah, I guess I kind of just bought too hard into the brand new Lions. Again,
they're getting brand new jerseys.
It doesn't.
I admit that I'm like overreacting.
Yeah, that's about as new as it gets.
I'm trying to get what I think they'll look like.
I think they'll look cool too.
No, I think they'll look fine. Again, I just kind of fell in love with the monochromatic theme. I think they're killing it in the monochromatics.
Well, he said we'll get different pants options so they can switch them. It doesn't mean they have to. Like, they could still go with the all blues or the all whites.
And we put this up before too, but I'm just doing this for Chris because this kind of looks like the traditional blue. It could just be that but I put that in Slack if you want, Chris. It's what I'm like, what I think it will look like, at least in my mind. I'm sure you guys, if you guys are on X, if you're following myself and or Spinny, we've retweeted him beforehand because Provide Graphics, if you're not following him, you need to be as a Lions fan because my boy goes hard. But damn, he did a sick-ass Serpent of Depth one, and it sounds like Josh Reynolds is going to be signed with the Baltimore Ravens. That sucks. Try to find a little bit more of these traditional.
Womp womp.
Sucks for who?
Yeah. Here's one at JMO.
Sucks for Lamar Jackson because he got another receiver who can't catch.
Come on. Actually, Chris, I'm sending a better one.
Surprised they didn't sign with Kansas City. Oh!
People are all over the place with the Josh Reynolds. You're 50-50 on it, but I will never forgive him for dropping 2 massive passes in the NFC Championship game. That's just where I stand on it. I think he was great for Jared Goff, but I think Jared Goff was actually great for him. Like Spenny alluded to last week, he kind of made Josh Reynolds. He got cut by the Tennessee Titans before coming here. I don't know if he's going to be super successful with the Ravens.
Yeah. I don't have headphones, so I didn't hear anything you said. I love you, though.
100%.
He said what I said last week, that Jared Goff made him. And so he doesn't know if he's going to be super successful without. Because the only time we've seen him without is he got cut from the Titans.
Fair.
Because he can't catch.
Yeah. You have the 1970s JMO edit.
Yes, sir.
Oh!
Here we go.
Oh!
Yeah, those would be fire.
I want it.
No, but it's my other question is, so the helmets from last year, then, are those part of the new unis, or is that?
Yes, those will. Yeah, you'll still be able to wear those.
So full-time new helmets, or the helmets only when we're doing like special, like
it's
prime
gonna be
time?
the same thing. Yeah,
just with these jerseys,
with different jerseys.
We can't confirm these jerseys, but this is what I assume they're gonna look like.
The new jerseys, but those helmets are still gonna be in circulation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. When we get back, I'm going to get everyone's reaction to the L'Jarius Sneed trade because we got a cornerback that I'm salty he's not even calling a CB1 for very, very, very similar price. What up, Chris?
Real quick before we go break, quick question. I just thought of this.
Do the monkey with me.
Could it be just that the Lions are coming off their biggest season ever and new jerseys means a whole new opportunity for a whole ton of jersey sales? Are we reading too much into it?
That's a great point.
That's definitely it.
It's a great point. But this year was also the year they were able to change it too. But yeah, that's you're probably right on with that one, to be honest with you. Whatever, man. It is what it is. I guess I got faith. I hope faith.
Yeah, bro, your fandom's dying because they're getting new jerseys.
I just say
they've lost Josh Reynolds. They're getting new jerseys. He's falling apart. He's gonna pick him to go finish last in the division.
Fuck, man.
Well, let me tell you guys about Jack Labrador because football season is officially over and spring training is almost over as well. Baseball season's right around the corner. However, Jack Labrador is 24/7, 365 days a year. Learn how to play now on your phone at jacklabrador.gg. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. And remember that once you go Jack, you never go back. Go to jacklabrador.gg now and join in on the fun.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Wake Up Woodward. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Easy, did you hear the breaking news that the Bears traded for Desmond Ridder?
No!
This is the trifecta of mid things to happen that ruin Easy's confidence.
We'll see. I'll tell you what, though. Anything shaky happens, you already know what I'm blaming. Jared Goff. I'll talk about the uniforms. I'll blame the uniforms a little bit. Speaking of somebody who won't be wearing a Detroit Lions uniform, L'Jarius Sneed traded over the weekend. I think the annual average salary he signed to, Nick put in the chat today, was 19.8.
Yeah. Yep.
So just below
under
that 20 mil.
Was that a pizza bet, if I'm not mistaken? What was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't bet.
It was a pizza or Friday.
I remember
Friday
it was an
Nooners.
oyster bet for him not to come here.
No, for him to come here.
Yes, like if he came here, yeah, I did the oysters. With the run back the tape, I honestly don't remember. But I'm working a second job now. I guess I get a pizza if that is the case. I ain't tripping.
All right.
But people were tripping, though. People were freaking because he ended up going for a third and a sixth, if I'm not mistaken, which is very, very similar to what we acquired Carlton Davis for.
Mm-hmm.
Were you, and don't cop out initially. What was the initial reaction? You could say you calmed down, but what was the initial reaction?
I wasn't really that worried about it, honestly. I heard it happen. I was like, yeah, that sucks. But then I was like, yeah, I have faith in Brad Holmes. I believe in Brad Holmes and what he did, and I feel like he's going to make the right decision at the end of it. How often have we looked at a Tennessee Titans transaction that doesn't work out? So, like, they don't have the best track record of acquiring things that happen.
Fair.
You know, so I obviously, I would have liked the L'Jarius Sneed, and I'm not banking on him being terrible, but we'll see what happens. Carlton Davis restructured his deal to pay him less money.
Yeah.
So now he's at like $10 million, right? He's like
9.2.
So you'd be paying twice as much for L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And I know that's what Nick wanted to do, and that's what I wanted to do in situations to bring in a top tier guy, but it is like,
so you were upset.
Under 20 million, a third and a sixth. It's not. I mean, I'm not upset.
I mean, it's damn near 19.8.
Yeah, $20 million is a lot of money for a cornerback.
And
that's a lot of money for a cornerback, especially when you're looking at the pieces on this team that you still have to sign.
I guess like the one thing you say too is, I mean, he didn't allow a single touchdown to the Bills game, if I'm not mistaken, up into the playoffs, and that's 17 weeks. And we know the AFC is littered with great, like, elite quarterback talent at the very least. To me, if the Lions or Brad Holmes were to go out and do that, it'd have to be a Jalen Ramsey guy. And Snead just, in my opinion, like wasn't that. I think he's still very good. I don't want to take away from that at all whatsoever, but he's very, very physical. We know how the refs call games in Detroit or for Detroit Lions. Speaking of referees, we speak on the new rule change too. That got everyone freaking out, myself included.
Even on the
Chiefs, he got calls.
He got a lot of calls.
17, if I'm not mistaken.
So, and like you said, that defense with guys like Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie, it's. I'm not gonna say here and pretend like I don't think the guy's good, because I do think he's a good player. But $20 million is a lot of money to pay a cornerback when you're looking at, you still got to re-sign Amon-Ra St. Brown. That deal still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
You got to, if they're moving on with Goff, which we all feel like they are, that's a deal you're going to have to go through. Penei Sewell's going to have to get re-signed next year. You look at Aiden Hutchinson, he's coming down the pipeline for 2 years. You're going to have to re-sign him. So none of those are going to be cheap if you want to keep these guys.
Nick, what was your initial reaction?
That it would have been an upgrade. No doubt about it. I mean, that's just the obvious, that it would have been an upgrade. He has better durability than a guy like Carlton Davis. But
that's fair.
Like Spencer just said, I think it's a little too expensive for my liking. For not an elite. I don't know if he is like the elite of elite. Like you said, like a Ramsey type lockdown guy. So if we would have never done the Carlton Davis thing, yeah, 100%. But you can't look back on it now and say, oh, well, I would have done it, because at the time, L'Jarius Sneed was going for a second rounder, not that third round pick, So I didn't want to give up a 2 for him. Or, I mean, I guess maybe back end I would have. But I don't know. I guess I'm not pissed off about it, is what I should say. Like, I'm not pissed. We already got our guy in Carlton Davis. If we never made that move, then yes, I think we probably should have been all over this. But we made the move for Carlton Davis. We got to ride with Brad now.
This comment comes from a guy that I love to see in the chat. I think he contributes with some fairly decent takes. It's my guy Zakwa, who says, Snead, literally a top 5 corner. What are y'all talking about? I don't think I viewed him as that.
19.8 will tell you that he is, probably, right?
Yeah, but that's also open market value, right? Like, when you hit the open market, guys get overpaid. We see it time and time and again. I mean, the Daniel Jones contract, nothing speaks to that more than him getting $45 million.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think he's a top 5 cornerback in the league. I really don't.
Let's see. He's
not top 10.
He's not better than Sauce Gardner.
Nope.
He's not better than Jalen Johnson.
Nope.
He's not better than Patrick Surtain.
Nope. Derek Stingley Jr.?
Derek Stingley Jr. I would put ahead of him.
How many we at? 4?
That's 4 right there. Would you put Trent McDuffie over him, a guy on his own team?
They kind of flip back and forth between like those number 1 assignments and helped each other out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a scheme thing, too. It's not like Carlton Davis.
Yeah, he's not better than Denzel Ward. I'm taking Denzel Ward over him 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I'm taking Denzel Ward over him, too.
Tariq Woolen. He had a down year. He had a down year last year.
I probably wouldn't put Tariq Woolen over him.
AJ Terrell. I would probably take AJ Terrell over him. That's pretty close, though. If you want to argue Snead over Terrell, I'm not going to be mad at you.
Yeah. I don't think he's like top 5 enough for us to be freaking out like
he's
top 10.
I would say he's top 10.
I'd comfortably put him in top 10. I'd also, want to put this out there too. That defensive line in KC, I know that Patrick Mahomes is like the centerpiece when you talk about that team, but Chris Jones is a monster. And limited action last year with no training camp, still put up double-digit sacks. Mm-hmm. You saw his effect in the Super Bowl when the 49ers could have scored the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, I want to say it was, or maybe 4 minutes. I don't remember the exact timestamp. But they're in the red zone there. Chris Jones with a lot of pressure made Brock Purdy just kind of whip the ball and miss a wide open Ayuk, I believe it was at that time too. Like, there's your Chris Jones. You got a guy in Mike Dana. I think we all kind of open to coming here and help us out as a little bit of an upgrade or a rotational piece there. George Karlaftis.
Dog.
Say what you guys want. That kid's a dog. Mm-hmm. Like, and part of the reason there, again, being Chris Jones. Like, Chris Jones being in the middle of all of it is going to help a lot of things look a lot better too. When you have that type of front in front of you, I spoke about it beforehand when I wanted DJ Reader or just a defensive tackle to deal with to begin with. The big guys up front help out the back a lot. KC, say what you want about Patrick Mahomes and them, they have a phenomenal defensive line. It's just phenomenal overall defense in general.
Yes.
You got Nick Bolton in the middle there too. Mm-hmm. They're really good defensive line.
They got a great defensive coordinator. They got great defensive pieces out there. And L'Jarius Sneed was one of those great defensive pieces for sure. But, with the pieces around him, it definitely benefits him. But I'm not saying the guy's a bum or anything. He's definitely, I would say, top 10 cornerback in the league. I wouldn't put him in top 5. And how much did Jalen Johnson got? Jalen Johnson per year?
Was it 23, 24? I thought. I could be way off on that. That's just off the top of my head.
Because I think he is like a lot better than L'Jarius Sneed. I think Sauce Gardner is a lot better.
He got paid as such too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Johnson contract, 4 years, $76 million. What does that work out to? What's the math on
That's
that?
19.
That's less than 20.
Yeah. It's
Less than 20?
Less than 20 a year.
Yeah, 4 years, $76 million. So
It's like,
18.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
18 million.
19.
17.
No, it's 19.
Yeah, it's 19.
Yeah.
It's right on the same.
So, yeah, I mean, I understand that's the market and that's what you got to do, but I don't think they're equal. Although we'll see, you know, like we talk about it all the time. Cornerbacks, the shelf life for a cornerback in the NFL is like a banana. Like, it is at the all-time low. You don't know when those guys are going to go, man. Honestly, you don't know when. Like, you look at guys like Nnamdi Asomugha. I thought Nnamdi Asomugha was going to be one of the best corners in the league for years. And dude just fell apart when he went to Oakland. You look at guys like Richard Sherman, who is just fantastic in the league for fucking almost
Forever.
10 years.
Yeah.
You know? But you never know with cornerbacks whether they're going to be a stud or they're going to be a one-hit wonder like a Josh Norman or a Nnamdi Asomugha or someone like that.
Thank you. Like that's a fantastic point to put out there too. It's like, yeah, we could have acquired him at all that money, then he not perform the same.
And that was
then
part
you
of
look
what
like a
he said.
dumbass.
That's part of what Brad Holmes said. You don't like paying guys, and I know Maz made a good joke about it, where you got to know the guy. It's a lot harder to pay a guy a ton of money. Maz's like, I had to know him since he was born before I'd pay him, which is funny, Maz shit. It's a really good joke, but there's a point. There's a point behind it where you don't know. L'Jarius Sneed, is he a Dan Campbell guy? Is he a Brad Holmes guy? Does he have that work ethic? Is he going to be, when he gets his money, is he going to get complacent and stop working on his game? I don't think he will because he's a professional athlete, but it's a lot easier to make those judgment calls of guys that you've drafted, scouted, and groomed in your system for multiple years rather than a guy on the outside.
Well, and again, too, like you put on the tape, if Jalen Ramsey, I'd be comfortable like transferring to any team, from team to team to team, in his prime, especially when his trade did go down. That's a guy. He could put any receiver damn around the island. He's going to be able to compete. But Jerry Sneed, I just don't know if it was that at all times. Although the numbers did reflect that. But again, part of it too is the defense being phenomenal.
Cornerbacks, you know, shelf life of an avocado, man. Like
it's just different for every
You never know, man. You never know. I'm just trying to think of stuff that dies fast, because like I said, you could have a Richard Sherman or you could have a Darrelle Revis, even though those guys are generational. Or you could get a Josh Norman or a Nnamdi Asomugha or Amani. Like,
I think him and Carlton Davis are a lot closer than people want to admit.
I would agree.
To be honest with you.
They're not. I don't think L'Jarius Sneed is worth twice as much as Carlton Davis, which is what they're getting paid.
And he's not going to have a first-team All-Pro and Trent McDuffie on the other side of him.
Yes, and a first-team All-Pro in Chris Jones in the middle of that defense.
Yeah,
like
which is a serious thing.
He's not worth twice as much as what you're paying Carlton Davis, and he is not worth the same amount of money as you would pay a Jalen Johnson, in my book. So I think that's an overpay, but it's the Titans. They're going to have to do that, and Tennessee Titans are a graveyard of players, man. It seems like anytime a player steps in Tennessee, he gets monstered, like his powers get taken away.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, I'm not mad at anybody that wanted L'Jarius Sneed. Like I'm not mad. Like, he is still a very, very good player. I'm not trying to like poo-poo him and say that he's not good.
For sure.
I get the rationale from Brad's standpoint, not wanting to pay him on top of giving up assets.
I'm not overreacting it. Like, did I want L'Jarius Sneed? Yes, I wanted L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
Would I still want him? Yes. Would I want him at $20 million a year? No. That's like, it's the same thing with Tremaine Edmonds last year. I was banging the table for Tremaine Edmonds. Bring in Tremaine Edmonds. I love him. I love his game. And then he was getting $18 million a year from the Bears. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm good on that. I wouldn't pay him.
Pass. Hey, I cannot wait to watch the season and see if we were right or wrong. Because this is one where I'm a pretty fucking stubborn guy. I think you guys all know that by now. This one I'm willing to let the foot off the gas a little bit because I really don't know. And I think we'll find out as the year goes on what type of caliber cornerback he truly is. If he's a guy, again, that could transfer from any system, or is he a guy that fit best where he was his entire career? And that's also a part of a very, 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 very good defensive team.
And Eduardo O'Neill says Snead has missed 3 games in 3 years. Davis has missed a lot more. I'd pay someone that is more reliable.
That's fair.
That's fair. If that's your argument, you know, reliability, availability, yeah, for sure. But twice as much, especially with the contracts you've got coming down the books, the contracts you've got in the pipeline that you're going to have to fork out. $20 million is a lot of money for a cornerback.
And you think about like what Zeitler got, like what $6 million for a Pro Bowl guard that you bring in. Like Brad Holmes can bring in another veteran at a good price.
Would you rather have Amik Robertson,
exactly, 2 guys,
Carlton Davis, and Zeitler, or just L'Jarius Sneed?
Exactly. And I was thinking even just like Gilmore or Xavier Howard for that like matter that you can still bring in because you didn't have to shell out $20 million basically for L'Jarius Sneed.
Apollo says my argument is okay. We didn't get Sneed. Now what's the alternative? Well, you got your starting corners.
Yeah, you got your.
Now you go for a depth piece, or if you want, like Eazy said, bring in a Xavier Howard, somebody to fire up that battle, to go a camp battle. And I would love to see Xavier Howard get signed. He said he would take less money. He said he wouldn't mind playing in Detroit. Like, you give him the same kind of deal you gave Zeitler, the same kind of deal you gave Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last year.
Yeah.
That would be perfect in my mind.
Yeah, and I know the health was definitely a plus, like, going towards his way, but like as deep as they've gone to the playoffs every single year, might watch that dwindle down a little bit too, especially if you start getting some money.
Your boy, you know, glass bones, paper skin,
Emmanuel
Mosley, who knows? He might get hurt stepping off the bus, but if he plays more than 3 snaps, he can be a net positive for this team, and he's only getting paid like $2 million a year. So
I'm not mad at anybody that wanted L'Jarius Sneed. I'm just saying it was a move Brad was going to make.
I agree. I wanted L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah.
But $20 million, no, I'm good.
Could afford it too, actually. Could have had him and Carlton Davis, honestly.
Yeah.
But we're not going to. I'm not going to question Brad Holmes at this point.
Zeitler and Amik Robertson, and they're going to sign somebody else.
Yeah, like, honestly, you still could have afforded L'Jarius. Actually, probably would have got a little crazy at that point, but like Amik's contract isn't crazy.
Picks to get Carlton Davis too.
That's very true.
Because you were giving up those picks for the.
It was 2. You have a third though.
Yeah,
we do.
And you did get 2 6 back. If you did the hypothetically.
Yes, they could have given up another third.
Because he got 2 6 exactly, and we had 2/3, and at that point too, if you did the Carlton Davis deal first, you had 3 6.
Eduardo O'Neill says, Spencer, if Mosley plays 14 or more games, you got to eat clams on air. Say 2 games. I love clams.
Yeah, he loves clams. You gotta give him some gross
I'll eat
than
clams
that.
on air for sure.
Yes, I am Prince Fielder's son.
Big seafood guy.
I wish I was.
Have you ever done an oyster shot though?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, those are gnarly.
Slurp some oysters?
Yeah, like oyster. No, not just an oyster, but in a shot form with like liquor and cocktail sauce.
Oh no, you degenerate! No, I've never done that.
Jesus, Nick.
I do I slurp an oyster, like you shuck the oyster and then have squeeze some lemon on it and put a dab of hot sauce.
They're not cheap either.
I love anybody tapping in out of context as knowing we're the heavyweights. We come out like, yeah, a little damn hot sauce.
Dude, oysters are. I've said that if I could only eat one meat for the rest of my life,
seafood.
It would be seafood because it's so diverse.
Well, good thing because Big Boy's
got it for me. Seafood Fest is back. Catch it while you can. Dive into fish and chips, their new Parmesan crusted cod, perfectly fried clam strip platter, or delicious fish sandwich. A Big Boy must try the new mango iced tea, the perfect complement to their popcorn shrimp, shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir fry. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy. And don't forget the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet every Friday night, only at Big Boy.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp Alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm Easy. Join my guys some more action. Chris,
Shout out Gun
Uncle
Guy.
Nick.
Take your pants off.
Shout out Gun Guy. Take your pants off. Chris, did you download that video I sent or no?
Yes, I did.
Tiny Tina is
did?
still the best fish
Shout out to
Spenny
you.
has ever
You're the
made.
GOAT for that one.
Jesus Christ. Two birds, both stone. That's a good one.
I wanted to do this just because I put it out there on X. Got some reactions. So obviously some people like to talk about. We'll maybe even open the phone lines if you will. Piss some people off, but some people I think just kind of see the common sense in it, and it's no shade whatsoever. But coming off the Steed contract talks, I want to move into some Jared Goff contract talks.
Oh, God, here we go.
And that's only because my guy Mike Payton put out an article trying to think of why there's a delay in the extension talks. But my true belief
I mean, they still haven't even re-signed Amon-Ra.
is this.
Yeah, Hendon, he's doing well. He's doing very good. I get along with Hendon, obviously, because he's from here. He's from North Carolina.
Is he?
Greensboro. Yeah, he's from Greensboro. About an hour, if that, from here.
Yeah.
From Raleigh. So, yeah, we got that connection there. But Hendon's doing good. He was at practice. He was our scouting quarterback.
Yeah.
His arm was smooth as butter.
He's got a smooth delivery.
Oh, my gosh. It's so beautiful. His arm is strong, too. He got a strong arm.
And we don't get to see it because we don't get to see practice tape. You don't get to see it until the preseason. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all are going to see it.
Yeah.
You're going to see it.
Yeah.
And I know he's working right now. I know he's working.
Yeah.
But he looks good.
How?
So that was guy we love here, Ali McNeil.
Big fan.
Speaking on Hendon
Shout out
Hooker.
Dream.
Shout out Dream. Check it. Was it I Am Different, the album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, that was Ali McNeil speaking on Hendon Hooker. And similar fashion to the coaches last year once he was able to practice, kind of fawning over this kid and his arm, his abilities. They seen just some practice squad reps. Not practice squad reps, I'm sorry, scout team reps. And I only want to make this statement because it's not he's coming to take the job this year. It's not a Jared Goff is bad. I'm not bashing Jared Goff at all whatsoever. But my theory in the delay of his contract specifically is I truly think, just from business point, I think this kind of just makes sense, right? Lamar Jackson did get re-signed to his final year of his deal. That's a 2-time reigning MVP at this point. I think they're kind of just they want to see what they have in Hendon Hooker before they make the commitment of cap space to Jared Goff for the long term. I think it's a common business practice. We saw it go down with Lamar Jackson as recently as last year. Also, you just look at how these guys bring in the players and how they want these players to play. It's hungry on those deals that makes you have to kind of prove yourself. You kind of have to earn the next deal. They like putting those players in those corners, in those situations. I think that's the delay with the Jared Goff contract, Smitty. What say you?
Hendon Hooker's going to come out in preseason and throw for 350 yards, and rush for 2 touchdowns, and Easy's going to mayo himself.
Man, just might.
I mean, it could be a thing. I don't think it's the Hendon Hooker situation. I do think it's just, bargain bin Brad. Like he's just doing what he does, where he's not going to.
Well, Hendon plays into that because he's not
going to he's not going to jump out in front of somebody and sign him for a whole bunch of money. Or when have we seen Brad Holmes sign anybody for more than a 3-year contract? Never. So these are huge decisions that he's making. That we love the situation that he has the team in, but you can't keep that financial flexibility in situations like this if you sign all these players to big deals. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown still hasn't gotten his contract yet. So I don't think it's anything against Jared Goff or loving Hendon Hooker so much that you're going to move on from Goff or anything like that. I just think he's like you said, he's testing the waters.
He's smart business.
We gonna see. Yeah, you don't like. I really like the point you made about Lamar Jackson about where it comes down to the last year. You're going to play out your last year, and then we'll see what happens. Like it's not the end of the world if somebody finishes out the contract they're already on without getting extended.
And I don't think like the difference, unless he goes out and wins the Super Bowl, I don't think the difference of a contract would be that much different from if he's extended now versus the end of next year. Like, I don't think that contract's jumping $20 million or anything crazy like that. You know, and another point to make too is like I believe it was like March 14th. And I could be mistaken on the date. Similar how Cam Sutton's contract got guaranteed. Well, there was a bonus that got guaranteed on Jared Goff's that made his hit for this year. I think at the very least like $32 million. I could be wrong. It's like 27 to 32, but like, it's guaranteed hit. They could have extended him, lessen the cap space of it. Yeah, exactly, and kick that can down the road. They didn't. I think that's another point to point out too, because I know you made a great point. Would have been a great point with Amon-Ra. Well, they haven't extended him either. Well, a different scenario where this guy's going to count $30 million against your cap this year, versus Amon-Ra not being that same scenario. I don't think they're just waiting it out. Which again, still could be the case. But this is just my take on it. This is what I think is going down. And again, no disrespect to Goff at all whatsoever. I just think it's a business practice. And again, as you said, bargain bin Brad. Why would he not want to see what he has in the 3rd round pick that he moved up to acquire, by the way, too? Why would he, bargain bin Brad, being as frugal as he is, why are you giving up assets to move up to grab this guy if you expect him to be a career backup at that point? Like, I think they want to see, and again, Lee McNeil. You heard Dan Campbell last year, quarterback coach last year too.
Mark Brunell.
Gushing over the guys on.
Yeah.
Nick?
Ali McNeil, quote unquote, his arm is smooth as butter. That was a just great quote. But Hendon Hooker is a guy that was the front runner for the Heisman before going down. He's 100%. He was a great college prospect. He would have gone in the 1st round if he hadn't gotten injured. So yeah, Brad did take a chance and traded up for him in the 3rd round because he obviously sees something with his talent where he could probably be a starter one day, or why else would he go up and trade up in the 3rd round to do this? Brad does not like wasting draft picks. And I will say this, if the deal doesn't get done before the season, worst comes worst, if you don't have faith in Hooker, you can still franchise tag Jared Goff.
Yes.
You have control to do that moving forward. You don't want to do it, but you have control to do that if need be. If the deal doesn't get done and you think you have one more year of a window under Jared Goff, worst comes worst, you can always franchise him. That's where I'm at with it.
You can't, in my mind, you can't franchise Jared Goff.
Why?
Because that's a $35 million contract that's 100% on the cap for that year.
That's what he wants anyway.
Yeah, but I
mean, you'll have the cap to do it.
What do you mean that's what he wants anyway? That's what who wants anyway?
He wants that amount of money, but you're saying it's straight to the cap.
100% on the cap. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
It's not far off from what we're paying him this year, though.
Yeah, but the whole thing about keeping him around is you lessen the cap hit so you can pay the other guys.
And then the other point too is like this one.
It'd probably be more
this
than
one's
that
really going to piss people
off.
off.
It'd be way more.
It'd be way more. Because that's when Justin Herbert's contract will kick in. Josh Allen's contract will kick in. It's the top 5 of their position.
Yeah, I think
so. It'll be $40+ million.
Let me see. I don't know if it's that much. I remember having this conversation with Booner, and the number was surprisingly lower than what I thought it would be. I'd have to let me see. 2025 franchise tag for QBs. Just to get an idea of where it's at.
There's a reason the only QB that's gotten franchised in the past 10 years is Kirk Cousins.
Because his agent's the GOAT.
It's true.
So it'd be around $38 million. Which again, it's a lot. But then let me go back and look at what his hit is for just this year alone. Pretty confident it's right in the 30s, or if not, it's for sure 27. Jared Goff over the cap, and that's the other part of it too. And this is the part that people for sure hate to hear. And I'm sorry to bring it up. I'm just making the point that if you did like what you saw in Hendon at that point, you also, if you franchise Goff, he's not walking for nothing. Because you could make a trade for it, whatever that value may be. And don't sit here and tell me that people wouldn't trade for Jared Goff, because they would. When you see Jimmy Garoppolo still getting deals as recently as last year, $40+ million for Jimmy G. Cap number for Jared Goff this year, $32 million. God damn, I'm good. And I just remembered I actually did that last week, that homework. Again, no disrespect towards him. I just think it's smart business. Let's go to break. I'll read some comments from the chat when we get back. Maybe if you guys want to call in, I'll put the phone number in the chat as well. But first, Smitty, tell us about Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have 24/7 professional monitoring or they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? You should see what I did there. Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary's got the best curated cannabis in the business. A large variety of name brand products from across the state. There's 12 locations. Make sure you guys check them out. And at 420 specifically, they're doing a big event at all 12 of those locations. Guys, last time we were there, it was huge. There was free food, there was giveaways, and all that and more. It's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy. That's my guys from Rax, Young Chris, Unky Nick, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. I did put the phone number in the chat if you guys want to call in. Other than that, I'm going to read some of these comments. Some of the funniest ones, that's kind of disrespectful, but funny to me. Adnan Nathan. Golf's going to get $60 million a year. Deal with it.
Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
That's just,
Can't hear
come on,
you.
you're trolling. Trolling, brother.
You?
Another one I think he had, and it could have been someone else that said Brad's not going to do golf dirty like that. It's not, in my eyes at least, I don't think they'd be doing golf dirty. He's still allowing him to get paid in either situation. Right?
Hello, can you hear me?
And again, I don't know if it's him or somebody else who said that'll never happen to a top 10 quarterback. Lamar Jackson literally went through the same process.
It just happened to Lamar last year.
Yeah. Previously, I think it was Kirk Cousins, the last quarterback to have that situation go down with.
Kirk Cousins actually played on the franchise tag. Lamar didn't even have to play on the franchise tag.
And I don't even know if it necessarily gets to that. Like maybe they re-sign him before it gets to like a franchise tag situation. I'm only bringing up the franchise tag in a scenario where one, obviously, it has to be if you don't agree to a salary or cap space, whatever it may be. But two, the other one being if it works out. And I know that's the one that's pissing people off, but those are the cases. Nick, who do you got on the line? No one? Phone lines aren't working?
No, give me a sec. I'll try again.
Easy. Could it not be that Hendon Hooker developing changes the years of the contract? Because we had heard multiple times that Brad Holmes and the front office wanted a shorter contract, and Goff and his agent wanted a longer contract. And maybe you extend him for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then he becomes a tradable contract, and it gives Hendon Hooker more time before he has to come into play.
So you're saying like it's like a pro resign now argument, or
what was that?
You're saying extend him like next year? That being the case, or are you saying extend him this year?
No, extend him this year. I'm just saying if you don't choose to, the Hendon Hooker thing could not be like Goff's over with, but it could change the amount of years that Goff gets, is what I'm saying. Or do you disagree with that?
No, I think that's an argument too. And the other part that cracks me up is the people that like want to bring up the age. Like the only number that I promise you these guys give a fuck about is that cap number. Like if you make an age argument of Hendon Hooker being 26 and or 27 by the time this situation rolls down, you're also arguing to pay a guy that's going to be 30 years old at that point $30+ million. No one gives a fuck about the age.
They don't care about the age.
Yeah, the number they care about is the cap number.
They weren't worried about the age when they drafted him.
I had this argument with my boy Phil. Shout out to Phil and Dev. Shout out to Debbie Dev too. Over the weekend, they're like, best quarterback in line like 30 years. Doesn't know. Stop with that bullshit. It's not how it works. This is a team. Shout out to Jared Goff for performing phenomenal. But it's not like he's the best quarterback. Like he's carried this and did this shit all by himself. No, because the same sentiment was like Matthew Stafford did nothing here, but he leaves the first year and wins a fucking Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't calculate like that.
Matthew Stafford is a more talented quarterback.
For sure.
But Jared Goff is the best quarterback I've seen play for the Lions.
Yeah, and that's fair. Yeah, but again, even that though, I know. I don't agree with that. I think it's a team effort, like a system thing. I mean, the numbers are very night and day when you look at the first half of 2021 without Ben Johnson's involvement versus when he started getting involved around week 7 or week 8. I think it was at the Browns game or during the Browns game or Steelers game, I should say. The numbers were night and day.
Yeah, but I mean, you can make that same argument for Matthew Stafford is if he had all of these pieces around him, then he would have been that much better than how is he better than Goff? Goff's in the same situation where he's got all the pieces and he's really good. And so the only way Stafford would be really good in winning games like this is if he had all the pieces around him, so there's no difference.
No, the difference, I think, is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, I mean, Ben Johnson. You know, so, I mean...
Not the offensive line or the running game.
I mean, offensive line definitely helped too. But it's like, I wouldn't say the Rams had a top 10 offensive line the year they won the Super Bowl. I'd say the difference is
they're pretty good.
Sean McVay. I'm saying a similar situation too is like if you drop Matthew Stafford in this offense now, bro, it's equally as disgusting first and foremost. And maybe I don't want to disrespect off like that, but it would. There's not a fall off there. I'd put it to you that way.
Yeah, so they're equal.
I don't think they're equal. I don't get where you're. I guess I don't see where you're getting that they're equal.
You just said if you put Stafford in that offense, then there's not a fall off. Then
that's because I just didn't want to be disrespectful and say it could be better.
Well, if you don't feel comfortable saying it would be better, then they're equal.
Well, then he'll be better. It'd be better.
Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Did you get that working? Did you have someone on the line?
Or no, Edwater was calling. I couldn't hear him.
Oh.
I think Stafford has a bigger arm for sure. For sure. But I've also seen Stafford make very, very bad decisions.
Yeah.
And multiple times. And I've seen Stafford.
He's getting up there too. Getting banged up.
Yeah. Not win a playoff game ever.
That's what I'm saying, though. I can't use that argument.
2014?
If Matthew Stafford had
Jim
this
Caldwell
coaching
was a pretty good head coach.
No. Well, I mean, he's solid.
No,
okay.
He's not a good head coach.
I wouldn't say pretty good. I'd say he's
someone you can win a playoff game with the best defense in the league and Calvin Johnson. I think that should be enough to win at least. I'm not saying win the Super Bowl for the Lions.
But he did. I don't even necessarily agree to that.
You don't think that team should have won a playoff game?
They definitely should have won that playoff game. But I'm saying, I'm not. No disrespect to Jim Caldwell, as I loved him when he was here, but he's not in the same stratosphere as Ben Johnson when it comes to calling the game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not expecting him to go to the NFC Championship game, but to win a playoff game, I expected them to win a playoff game that year. They had enough talent on the team and a competent enough coaching staff that they should have won a playoff game.
Yeah. And again, I'm not sliding off, and I mean, you guys could take it that way. I know people are going to take it that way because they're huge fans of him, and he could do no wrong. And I'm not even saying he's doing any wrong in the situation. This is just a business approach from Brad Holmes. That pick was made for a reason.
Yeah, and like you said, like you guys are saying, I think Stafford is more talented. Like I said, he's got the bigger arm. He's a better athlete. He can move around better. He can make all the the sidearm throws, crazy throws like that for sure. I don't think anybody would argue that. But I've seen Goff win, and I didn't see Stafford win, and that's what it matters to me.
Yeah,
one of the years Matt Stafford had a chance to actually win the NFC North, and he did not win, I think, a single of the last 3 games of the season when we could have hosted a home playoff game, obviously prior to last year, which was a big thing in my eyes because I just always wanted that home playoff game because I thought we always were going to win it when we finally got it, which we did last year, and obviously looking forward to hopefully plenty of those coming up forward. Yeah.
Not the same when you got a guy who has Ben Johnson helping cook up shit too, though, versus what Stafford had. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if any of those guys went on to be offensive coordinators again. I think maybe Darrell Bevel maybe got another chance in Jacksonville.
I think he did.
But I don't know if it was as an OC for sure. I don't think Jim Bob Cooter got another chance as an OC, which honestly, out of all of them, I feel like he was kind of solid. Who could have got another opportunity at it. In PWU. I'm not slighting Goff, so let me slight him. I'm not slighting him at all. I don't understand why this is not a slight towards JG. This is just how it works in the NFL. It's how Brad bargain bin Brad. He's gained that nickname for a reason.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes down. That's just my perspective on it. I mean, do you think he gets re-signed before next year?
Before next year starts? No. I mean, Amon-Ra has to. I don't think they re-sign Goff.
I think Amon-Ra will sit out before. Especially I'm watching this podcast with him and a guy like DJ Moore who, DJ Moore is very, very good.
I feel like they already got the deal done. You remember the video of him posting,
Yeah, he's all happy singing Slim Shady and shit. Yeah. Wearing Detroit hat.
That's that. I'm not worried about that. People are freaking out on Twitter. Like some people tag me on Twitter, like, "Why isn't this got done yet?" Why? I'm not worried about that. That's gonna get done.
By the way, and the same argument can be used for golf, but that could be very well be a reason why Brad Holmes wasn't at the owners' meeting. You know, I mean, Dan Campbell made it. Brad Holmes didn't. It very well could be because they're still working on either one of those deals. This is my perspective on it. Nick, do you think the deal gets done before next year? Before the start of next season?
I do not. And speaking of that, Rich Baldwin in the chat, it's an Alex Smith Chiefs situation where you give Goff another season to finish the job before moving to Hooker.
Yeah.
He's comparing Hooker to Patrick Mahomes right there, which I think is a little ridiculous because we haven't seen him. But maybe that's the way he's looking at this. I mean, he did draft Hendon Hooker. Like, this could be his next guy. We all think that he is in love with JG because he was part of the process that drafted him in LA and then traded for him when he got to the Lions. But I don't think he wants to be dishing out $50+ million for a quarterback. I don't
think so either, man.
Yeah. What's this number gonna finally be?
And
all these quarterbacks are getting paid.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like a comparison to Mahomes versus like just the way we've seen these torches passed on to like other quarterbacks. Like, I mean, another one you can point to is like Wentz to Jalen Hurts. Like, obviously the Alex Smith to Mahomes.
Rodgers to Love.
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to go down too. It ended up being
Romo to Prescott. Flacco to Lamar.
Yeah.
Like, that happens in the NFL a lot.
Freaking Garoppolo to Purdy.
Yeah.
It's like, if I get the same, especially in a system like this, and that's the other part of it too.
Promise thing.
Where this one will feel like a slight is like, I think the system's a huge part of the success of JG.
It definitely helps.
And if that guy, unless there's an understanding that he wants to be here in Detroit forever, if Ben Johnson leaves and you make that financial commitment to JG after the fact, it could get real sloppy. And I mean, Jalen Hurts could be an example of that too. Where you look at him with Shane Steichen, MVP candidate. They're going to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna pay this kid. He looked like MVP last year. Shane Steichen leaves, you're not dealing with the same type of quarterback, the same type of offense.
Yeah.
A lot of the same weapons, too, by the way.
Yeah. And New Money says Stafford never won here to fuck. Goff wouldn't have won then either. And yeah,
exactly.
I don't think Goff would have put up the same numbers or had success in the, because that's back then they had no run game and it was Stafford throwing the ball 50 times a game. And like I said, Stafford is the more talented quarterback, but I can't not, like, the dude got us to the NFC Championship game. I'm going to give him his props.
Yeah. And again, sorry if you guys are offended by it, but here on this show, we've called a lot of things right. That's how we're calling this one.
Yeah, we've been calling this one for a while.
We'll see how it plays out. That's the part I can't determine is like what's going to happen at the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you what's going to happen then. I don't have any idea of what's going to happen then. It's only the players and coaches who've seen this kid in practice, and they're fawning over him. We just played the Liam clip. We had clips of Dan Campbell, and we had clips of I forgot his name again, quarterback coach
Mark Brunell. All
kind of making the same type of comments.
Smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter.
As Aleem said.
Well, let me tell you about Les Stanford, because what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service the customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brands you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together, let's drive.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Shake Shack and Woodward Sports want to remind you it's always football season. How would you like to win 2 tickets to this season's home opener? It's a Shake Shack QB challenge. You can throw it on a rope, then you can go to the home opener. Register for your chance to win at any Shake Shack location or at woodwardsports.com, or you can scan this QR code right now because it's the Shake Shack QB challenge.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, joined my guys from Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff. Apologize about the phones. We'll have that one situation figured out tomorrow. We'll move on from the topic because I understand a lot of people are kind of offended by it. Just calling it like we see it. Moving on, though, a couple things we hit. NFL making some rule change, Spinny. In my opinion, some fucking disgusting ones, to be honest.
Disgusting ones?
Yes. The hip drop. I guess banning all hip drop tackles just opens up another subjective call for referees to fuck everybody over with. On top of the fact where, and I think part of the rule change, if you're going to make something like this, have like a solution to it, not just, all right, you guys, the coaches, figure it out. Kind of bullshit, but the competition committee unanimously voted to rule out the hip drop in the NFL, meaning you can no longer contact a carrier, ball carrier from behind, swivel your hips and drop your weight, and or lift yourself up and drop your weight then after to make a tackle. Which, by the way, I've seen Ed Hudson make this type of sack multiple times. As recently as Dak Prescott, I think last year. It did look ugly, I'm not gonna lie. But how else do you tackle a guy? How else do you make that tackle from behind? Make the tackle too, because you can grab somebody on the offensive player who's trucking forward is going to break what we call an arm tackle, frowned upon. I guess I don't understand how.
Seems like you just got to be diving at ankles now. Diving at knees, diving at ankles. That's what the NFL wants,
right?
That's what that is what the NFL wants. That's what they've told us is the correct way to tackle. Is how Kirby Joseph tackles. And I know people don't like that. I know Vikings fans don't like that. But you can't hit them high. You can't hip drop. What else are they supposed to do? What else are defenders supposed to do? How else do you get somebody down? How else, if you're chasing Derrick Henry, that motherfucker's running, how else are you supposed to tackle that guy?
Man.
You just line up on him one-on-one? Like, come on. I understand that it's a dangerous play and it's violent and some bad things. It's a dangerous sport. It's a violent sport. Like, things happen, man. These guys are professional athletes. You got to give the defense a chance. Because as of right now, you can't hit the receiver until he catches the ball. You can't hit him high. You can't hit him too low. You can't hit the quarterback at all. I don't understand what they want him to do.
Yeah, Paul Thomas, they're banning what is called a hip drop. If you remember or not, I think it was the Bengals Ravens game where Mark Andrews got hurt. That type of tackle. I think the same thing happened to Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I don't remember who tackled him on that play. I think it was the 49ers game in the playoffs.
Is it going to be dangerous because their legs will roll up?
Who, by the way, Tony Pollard returned to starting the very next season. Like, I haven't seen any serious injuries to come of this. And I think it was Jerick McKinnon I commented on. He said, I'm actually happy I got hurt with this 2 years ago. You played last year, bud. It's not injuries happen. This is the NFL. These aren't career-threatening injuries. You may get hurt, but that's what this game is. That's what you sign. That's what you're getting paid millions of dollars for. This is football. At the end of the day, at this point, like, I don't even understand how you just stop a forward progressing player if from behind at this point. You just don't. You let it go.
Yeah. You got to grab their ankles or
even then,
or dive at their knees. That's what the NFL wants. They want defenders to attack the knees of other players.
And by the way,
which is, I guess that's what you guys want. That doesn't sound great to me, but
and don't give me that bullshit. It's for the fucking players. This is for your fucking pockets of fantasy football. That's what this is for betting and gambling. So guys will get pissed off when this shit happens. That's exactly what it's for. Because the NFLPA unanimously voted against this rule change. They did not want this to happen. And the NFLPA is represented by all different kinds of players. Matter of fact, we have a representative on this team, a defensive player that is, and Jalen Reeves-Maven.
He's the head of the NFLPA.
But yeah, he's the president. These are the players. The guys that were getting injured in this instance or in this situation. They don't agree with this whatsoever. It's fucking bullshit. And I saw people already, because we know how the Lions are called. We saw it in the Dallas game last year, called a little bit differently around this league. People, and I didn't want to think this way, but people are putting it in my mind. I can see it happening in a playoff game for the Detroit Lions. Oh, flag on the play. I think the penalty too right now is like a 15-yard.
You're just super same old Lions today, aren't you?
I guess I am. But I'm just bringing up that point, just in general.
It can happen to anybody. It can happen before the Lions too.
Lions
Yeah,
fans.
that's fair.
Because we have a lot of fast guys that'll get in front of people.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think you're moving away from what is football. I really don't understand. I mean, maybe this could be explained to me right now. I mean, this rule change just came out today, but I would like for somebody to explain, like, what do you do moving forward to stop these offensive players moving forward?
Start drop kicking motherfuckers
in the back. Yeah, literally. Yeah. But even then, they're running forward. You wouldn't be able to catch up to them. I don't understand. I guess the hope is you wrap them around the hip and hope that somebody else catches up and you guys could gang tackle them at that point. I mean, I really suplex. Are we allowed to suplex guys then? Like, can you just jump on their back? That's legal?
Yeah, I don't think it's not legal. You might just get carried by a bigger guy, but
yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I don't understand it, and I promise you, I've tried to.
Just grab their feet and pull them back. Wait for one of their feet, then grab it and pull it.
Antonio Brown already tried the drop kick. That's fair.
That was one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
He kicked the shit out of that punter, dude. He stomped his face. That was awesome. But if you've got a guy running in front of you, the only way you can tackle him now is to dive at his feet and hope you grab his feet, because you can't, horse collar him, obviously.
Yeah.
Now you can't hip drop him, so it's either to grab him around the waist and just hold on, hope you slow him down enough, or to dive at his feet. Those are the only ways.
This is the second time I had someone DM me about the no more drop tackle, meaning like bigger linebackers. I still don't. I mean, maybe yeah, but that's still like by physics, you would have to like tackle somebody similar in the form of a hip tackle or drop hip.
Like, I just gotta come screaming in from the side and take out his helmet to the knee. Like, that's what they want.
I'm not even like I am upset and I am pissed off, but I'm not trying to like be pissed off. I'm just quite literally flustered of just thinking how it works any other way.
I do not personally like when these calls go to these refs that we have seen get them wrong time after time after time again. I don't even know how can they change the rule if the NFLPA's literally voted against it unanimously. How is that even possible?
Unanimously. I don't know, honestly.
That is kind of gross. Like, these are the players.
They're like, no, don't do that. And they're all like, fuck you guys.
Literally, it was a fuck you.
Yeah.
And you thought about the betting odds. This is going to decide games. Literally. The refs are going to decide games again. And like you said, last year, we saw the refs literally decide the Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions game. We were all in here watching. That was horrible. That should have never been, the way that it was called. And I can 100% see the Lions getting screwed by this. And maybe I am a little jaded because I've seen it my whole entire life. But yeah, it is going to fucking happen at some point. And it's going to be a ref that comes out after the fact, after you already lost the game, and say, oh, you know what? Maybe we made a mistake on this one. It's not going to matter at all. And I think it's bullshit, to be honest.
Maybe you should... Can you, take your helmet off and throw it at their feet?
No. You're not allowed to take your helmet off.
Can you take your shoe off and throw it at their helmet?
that wouldn't. You just run?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Just trying to snipe dudes in the back of the head. Yeah, I don't really know how it's the only way you can tackle a ball carrier from behind now is literally to dive at their feet. It is what it is. And can you review hip drop tackle calls? Can you challenge?
So
Can you challenge a hip drop tackle call?
I did see something where there's going to be like a replay judge now to on these calls. I don't know these calls specifically, but it was from Dove Kleiman.
Remember how
I don't know if it's legit or not.
Like, that's a real great call. They get it right all the time, right? Roughing the passer.
It's disgusting,
It's
man.
going to be the same exact thing with this.
Very, very gross. Very gross. I'm looking to see if the rule changes. Real.
Shane D said Spanish players. Sending the flip-flop out. Dude, yeah, this kind of sucks. Like, sarcastic-ball is going to become a thing pretty soon.
Honestly, yeah.
All right, everybody, give him a hug.
Did you ever see like the thing on ESPN of Kevin Hart like going over how to sack a football player?
Yeah, like
Or
lay him
quarterback?
down gently.
Yeah, put like
tuck
a
him
pillow,
in.
blanket it. Yeah. It's literally what it's become, and I don't even know, bro. Let's go to break. I'm gonna try to find out if they can review these calls, if that was real or not, or just Dove Kleiman posting shit.
We'll see. All I know is
All
I know is Quarterback Challenge presented by Shake Shack and Woodward Sports. Shake Shack and Woodward Sports want to remind you it's always football season. How would you like to win 2 free tickets to this season's home opener? It's the Shake Shack QB Challenge. If you could throw it on a rope, you could be at the home opener. Register for your chance to win at any Shake Shack location or at woodwardsports.com. Or you can scan that QR code right there and sign up for the Shake Shack QB Challenge. Now, let me tell you about Grand Slam Fest. It's going to be live Friday, April 5th, 9 a.m., 313. Kurt already won tickets. We might be giving out more this week. You never know. Detroit's biggest party for opening day at the Detroit Opera House parking lot. Woodward Sports is going to be there. You can be there too. Just get your tickets at grandslamfest.com. grandslamdetroit.com to get your tickets to the Grand Slam Fest, which is Friday, April 5th at 9 a.m.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Glorious Cannabis is back with an ice water bubble hash pre-roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience. Perfect boost comes from added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower and only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check us out at your local retailer or visit us at gloriouscanna.com.
Merch. We had a mock draft. Oh, by the way, a shout out to, let me find who put in the Woodward Sports shit. I want to give them credit, but they said that the only plays,
I'm counting that one.
Only calls. Okay, it's Alan W. Shout out. He says the review
Big W
was for roughing the passer, and the other one he forgot. Oh no, he put it down here.
Water.
Roughing the passer, intentional grounding. So I gotta assume just because that rule changed today, talking about the hip drop one, probably
it's gotta be added to that.
Yeah, it should be, by the way, too. Okay, I'll say this: if you're gonna allow it to be reviewed, I'm not okay with the rule change, but helps it.
And the challenge one that the Detroit Lions suggested about if you win one of your 2 challenges, you get one back.
Yeah,
that's good. I like that rule.
Should have been that way to begin with.
Yeah, that's just the
refs.
refs.
You shouldn't be penalized for getting a challenge correct.
Yeah,
it's never made sense. Yeah, shout out to Detroit Lions, shout out to Rod Wood and Dan Campbell for putting that one in and getting it worked out. For now, we're doing mailbag. Tomorrow we'll have Spinny's mock draft. As well as some real expectations for the offense and or defense. What up, Chris?
Did the Lions win any of their 87 recommendations for roster changes?
No, they didn't.
Did they win any of those?
You can just keep taking guys on and off IR for no reason.
Yeah, that shit is funny as fuck.
IR only lasts 1 week.
Mailbag. What's more likely, the Lions drafting at 12 again or drafting the player that wears number 1 for Bama? Also, did you see Booner tweeted April 18th for new unis?
Yep.
I think it's been out there for a minute. I know it was going to be in the month of April. I guess it wasn't like an official date.
I I think it's more likely. Who was number one for Ben? Was it Kool-Aid? Was Kool-Aid number
Kool-Aid's
one?
number one.
Yeah, it's probably that.
I think that's probably more than likely.
Yeah.
Because 12, you're talking like, I feel like that's quarterback area.
Mm-hmm. Area. Quarterback area.
Did you see that stuff with JJ? Tom Pelissero says that the feel is that a lot of the Commanders might take him number 2.
Damn. You know who was supposed to go number 1? Remember when Mac Jones was supposed to go number 1?
I don't.
Smokescreen season.
Will Levis?
Yeah. Oh, Will Levis.
Will Levis is supposed to go number 1.
Number 2 or number
Yeah, it's smokescreen season.
That is fair.
Coughing, use smokescreen. But yeah. Mailbag, Eduardo O'Neill. Did Chris get laid in Mexico?
I will say that the beach at nighttime in the ocean is a beautiful vibe.
He fucked an octopus.
I can totally see Chris fucking an octopus.
You know what? Let me hit that.
Nice
Kind of set myself up for that one.
The octopus song, I thought it was one of his own.
Gotta be.
Easy. Can you put your sources on Stephon Gilmore to see if he heads to the Detroit airport or gets a phone call from a 313 number?
We can.
I got it.
Shane D, mailbag. Did Chris go for stem cell therapy? Is that why you were in Mexico?
No, man.
He got melanin therapy with stem cells.
Shout out to RJ Graham says, will Brad Holmes trade to the second round to get more draft picks? I could see it. I'm not counting it out.
Trade out of the second round to get more draft picks?
Actually, in The Athletic today, they put up a mock draft. It's from an unfamiliar name, but they had the Detroit Lions trading out of 23 or 29.
Hey, let's maybe dive into that and Spenny's tomorrow.
They got, yeah, you're right. You got pick 44 and like 116.
Yeah, we don't got to do my draft tomorrow.
Why?
I don't know.
You didn't like it?
I didn't hate it.
You just do it together?
No, I like it, actually. When I think the first 4 picks were really good, and I got Will Richard in the last pick.
So we do both.
All right.
We'll do yours and we'll do the Athletic. Chris was playing James Bond in Mexico, getting into that octopus.
Oh, yeah. He's playing the deep. Shout out the deep.
Honestly,
I will say shark attacks on the beach, impossible. Never happening.
Spencer looks like a Miller's commercial. More of a Labatt guy. I don't know if that's
He went for beard implants, says Papa D's.
beard implants.
No, but actually, I got a funny story. I was, this was the first night. We were at the live band performance section of the resort, and we were talking to these moms. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a good night. It was a good time.
I want it.
Oh, facts. Especially the one with the quarterback. I won't put her son out there, but her son's a good quarterback. He's actually a good quarterback college right
cheap,
now. I told her I could give her NBA babies. But we were talking, and she said, "You look kind of Amish." And I started dying laughing, thinking of the show. I said, "Yeah, my name's Jebediah." And it became like a whole thing throughout the week.
You should have told her to watch the show.
What's that?
You should have told her to watch the show.
Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. I did. She's
Was
there.
her son's a quarterback, like
in a big college?
Quarterback?
Like D1?
Not like a super big, but like
D1?
D1?
No,
Is it D1?
I'll show you off air. I'll show you off
Big
air.
10?
Deal.
No, not Big 10.
Pac-12?
JJ McCarthy's mom.
I think it's actually West Coast school. Don't exactly know where.
Mailbag, Alan W. Would you rather sign a veteran, safety, or corner for depth?
Corner.
With how the roster is right now? Yes. I mean, I think you can do both.
I'm good on I don't really need a veteran safety, but...
Oh, either or?
Yeah, I'd much rather have a corner than a safety.
Yeah. Just because, and Alan, if you missed it, I think it was this Friday or Thursday?
Friday was...
I think it was Thursday.
Friday was the time. It probably wasn't Friday.
Yeah, probably for sure wasn't Friday. If you go back to our Thursday show, we did a clip from Fontaine Millafon. We did a podcast, and he spoke about how like a lot of the big plays he had, the Russ strip sack specifically, was a situation where AG had brought him in his office like 3 times throughout that week for like half hour and an hour long meetings between he and Kirby Joseph. And he's like, look, if you see this formation, this is what they're doing. I need you to move up and blitz.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple times throughout the season, which if he had sacks on the, multiple times throughout the season,
big sacks.
They were because AG called in and gave him those plays specifically. I feel like obviously you have those same conversations with any veteran or rookie safety you bring in versus a veteran cornerback is going to have a little bit more experience for like shit you want to look for, twitches and whatever type of, even the speed of the game for a cornerback. I'd rather have the veteran cornerback in there.
I agree.
I did see another one in here. I'm sorry if I missed it. Was there another mailbag or did you get retreated from Steve-O? Okay, I'll go to Edward O'Neill's. I can't find that one. This upcoming year does Gibbs in both games. What? This upcoming year does Gibbs in both games versus Chicago outperform Swift or Swift? Gibbs outperform Swift.
Outperform Swift. Yeah.
Not even close.
Swift's a bum. But that'll
we were one of the best run defense in the league last year, and you just add DJ Reader to that too.
True.
Come on now.
That'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the heavyweights. Shout out to Chris for coming back. Make sure you smash the like button for him. For Nick, for Easy, for Chris, I'm Spencer with the heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you all for watching. Peace.